So the recording has now started. I do have a couple of announcements before we get to our guest speaker, but Rep Morgan, did you want to welcome everybody? You're muted.
Yes. First of all, I want to thank everyone for your patience. We realize that all of this lockdown due to COVID is trying everyone's patience, but in order to get through this as a community, we have to continue to do what we do. Obviously, the county judge and the mayor, they're going to be speaking here soon, so we're going to go ahead and do what we need to do here, and then let you guys go ahead and check that out. But I want to thank you all for participating and giving us the feedback. So with that being said, Lindsay, fire it away.
Yes, sir. Okay, so I do have a couple of announcements and then we'll get to our guest speaker. As Rep Morgan mentioned, the county is holding a press conference supposed to start at 5 p.m. Angela is on this call, but she's also going to be watching the press conference so she can give the information to us kind of as like a live update of the live press conference. It has not started yet, FYI, but we'll give you the updates as we have them, probably towards the end of the meeting after our guest speaker gets a chance to talk. But some of my announcements I just learned today, EP County Elections Department is going to be doing emergency ballots. So we've gotten a couple calls to our office about, what if I tested positive for COVID? I have to stay home for 2 weeks. I can't go vote and it's too late to request a mail-in. So we understand, or they understand, that that situation is possible. So they are doing now what's called an emergency ballot. If you qualify for that, having tested positive for COVID, or you cannot physically make it to the ballot and you did not get a mail-in ballot in time, you can call them and get an emergency ballot. The number is 915-546-2154. So that's a really good option. I know a lot of people were like, what if I test positive and then I can't leave the house and then I don't get to vote? Scary thought, but this is a solution. So write down that number, 915-546-2154. My next announcement, today El Pasoans Fighting Hunger Food Bank announced that they will be doing home delivery of food for anybody who has tested positive for COVID. So another, you're stuck at home because you've tested positive. If you're in quarantine, you can call them, which I'll give you the number right now, but they will do a home delivery. They'll leave it on your porch of food, and they'll do one week of food at a time. And you can get it as long as you're in quarantine. The number to call for that is 915-255-5937. There's actually another phone number as well. If you can't get through on that one, you can also call 915-224-1376. So that's if you know of anybody that it needs food but is been tested positive for COVID, or somebody in their house is positive and they don't want to leave, they can get it delivered to their door. The next thing, so we've been putting out that Halloween is quote unquote canceled this year. I don't know if what the county judge is going to say in his comments tonight at 5 is going to change what the current order is, but we'll let you know if that changes. But for now, trick-or-treating is not allowed door to door, so that will not be allowed within city limits. Like I said, that could change based on what the county judge says, and Angela will keep us posted on that as soon as that press conference starts. Another thing I wanted to let you guys know, in case you didn't know this is kind of old news, but I felt it was important to let you guys know. We always know if there's ever an emergency, you can call 911, but locally here, we have the ability to text 911. So if you're ever in a situation where you cannot call 911, you can text 911 to get help. So I don't know if you guys knew that, but it is an option here in El Paso. So if you ever need it, please utilize that, because that is an important thing to have, because sometimes you're in situations where you can't pick up the phone and call. Also, don't forget to get your free flu shots. The city has hosted a number of different flu shot, I don't know what you want to call them, clinics all over the city. There have been drive-through sites, there's been walk-up sites, but now they've set up kind of a permanent one. So the one closest to Northeast, it's actually in District 2, but it's the closest one to Northeast. Free flu shots, it'll be provided by Project Vita. The address is 4875 Maxwell. An appointment is needed for this, but the flu shot is free and insurance is not required. To make the appointment, you can call 533-7057, extension 100, and they accept appointments Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. So please, please, please take advantage of getting your free flu shot this year more than ever. It's very important. And then my last announcement before I introduce our guest speaker, the time changes this weekend, so keep that in mind. Sunday at 2 o'clock, we fall back an hour, so we get an extra hour. So don't forget to, I know the police department put out a thing yesterday that was like, your phone has a little squirrel in it that does it for you, but now all you have to do is reset your microwave. So if you have any old school technology, you'll have to reset the time, but if you have new school technology, it'll do it itself. So just keep that in mind. Don't be late for work on Monday. And I'll hand it over to our guest speaker. We have Diana with us, and she's going to be talking to you guys about Live Active EP. It's a new initiative the city has to keep everybody active. I know with COVID, everybody felt like we can't leave our house, we can't go for a walk around the neighborhood, and that's not necessarily true. So she's going to tell us about this initiative by the city and kind of give us a breakdown of what it is and how you can also live active. So Diana, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Lindsay, and thank you, Representative Morgan, for having me here this afternoon. It's my pleasure to present this initiative to you guys. Can you guys see my screen and hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay,
Yes.
thank you. So I want to welcome you guys to District 4, which is my district. So I'm very happy to be here this afternoon. And I want to introduce to you guys Live Active El Paso. So this is a new city initiative, which is a free platform for the community to join together in a citywide movement to promote better health and wellness, especially right now during COVID-19. So we have a mission, which is to promote a healthy lifestyle and improve quality of life for the El Paso community by encouraging physical activity, improved nutrition, and a strong mental health. We also have a vision, which is create a well-rounded, healthy community with exceptional health and wellness educational opportunities. So we started working on this. You know, we were driven by mainly by COVID-19, the pandemic, and being a border city and being affected by many of this pre-existing condition that are affecting many of our community members. So we started, we had a cross-functional team. We started developing ideas, and we wanted to focus on three main things that we believe are very important right now during the pandemic. So we wanted, to focus on motivation, motivate each other. And we started with Motivation Monday, which is, where we hear stories for individuals just like you, like me, and how they have changed their daily habits. They started to be more healthy. They share why, they share how, and they also share with us how this has positively affected their lives. So we also have different challenges and speakers that are talk about motivation, motivating each other during this the pandemic. We also have Wellness Wednesday. We wanted to develop healthy habits for a strong mental health and physical health. So we started working on weekly webinars with experts to learn about health and wellness. We have new recipes. We have tips on nutrition. How to set goals. We had some doctors from Hospitals of Providence talking about, how anxiety, depression are affecting us right now during COVID-19. So all this is free for the community. So we, I'm very happy to be here to present this to you because I want you guys to take initiative, to take advantage of this and also share with your friends and families. We also have Fitness Fridays, to start your weekend with workout goals and objectives to improve your fitness. We will have small clips of workouts where you will learn how to create your own workout that fits for your health, of course, with the approval of your doctor. And, we also show different components that help develop and improve your fitness. And before the numbers, went up again, we also were working on Sunrise Saturdays, and we had the opportunity to be at Veterans Park, which was a very we had a very good turnout, and we had 9 rounds, coming and doing some kickboxing and some exercises with our members from District 4. And we had an opportunity to actually go around all the district. We started District 1 all the way to District 8, And we were about to start on District 1 when all this happened. And we partner with great partners from different gyms. You know, we had RQ Athletics, Zumba, yoga, Sun City Athletic Club, and they were giving out free classes. You know, we wanted to present a portfolio of options to our community, and then you guys can, choose what best fits your needs to be more active. So that was working very, very good. But like I said, we had to put those on hold. We had a permit from the mayor to have 20 people and social distancing, wearing a mask. But at this point, they're on hold until, of course, further notice. We also have, we invite everybody to be a partner. You know, you don't have to be a business. You can be an instructor. You can be, a professional wanting to share your experience with us. We invite anybody in the community to be our partner. We have two different partnerships, which is the gold and the silver. And pretty much the difference is that with the gold medal, you commit to help us out to collaborate at least once a month to create free content for our community members. And in exchange, we are a marketing channel for these businesses, and we recognize everything that they do for our community. So I want to invite everybody today to take the pledge, and it's nothing other than saying, I commit to be healthy. I commit to start making those changes in my daily lifestyles to be more healthy. Either take a walk, or walk with your dog, with your family, maybe do 10 minutes of exercise with your kids at home. By taking the pledge, you will be the first one to know about upcoming events. Again, it's free for the community. And, we have giveaways, we have special discounts from our partners. So I have put the website here, which is www.liveactiveep.com. In order for you to take the pledge and be part of this movement. We want you to take care of yourself and also to take care of each other. So far, we have over 450 pledges. We have over 30 partners and 13 partnership with neighborhood associations. We have had 31 events with different organizations and partners. We hosted 13 Sunrise Saturday events, and you guys can see some of the pictures that I put for you. We had 604 likes on Facebook, 728 Instagram followers, and over 7,000 monthly video views on Facebook. So all our videos can be accessed at any time. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Twitter. And, if you're at home and one day you want to do yoga, you can put out, one of the videos that we have there for you. And everything is created by experts. So we don't create the content. We're just a channel for you guys to get to take advantage of this great content. So coming up, we have, after you take the pledge, of course, we have some coming up events. We have this virtual series in partnership with the Texas A&M Agri-Life Extension, and they're health educators. They're 30 minutes. We have one every week for the next 5 weeks. We had one yesterday, and they pretty much teach you how to set goals and then start changing those eating habits little by little. So we don't expect, to have a turnaround to be on a diet or anything like that. That's not our goal. We want to, be consistent. We want to create those changes in the long run. So we have this great organizations that are offering free webinars for us. I also have put the weekly schedule. We have on Monday, we have a webinar coming up. This one's going to be in Spanish. We try to include also Spanish webinars, and it's about, when it's called duelo, when you lose someone, or in this case, when you lose something, because it can be also, we know how everything's just been very hard for us during the pandemic. So we want to bring those webinars that are going to make you feel like it's okay. You're not the only one going through this. We all in the same boat, and we're here to support each other. And then we have also Wellness Wednesday, and then our Fitness Friday video by Free Day Yoga. Coming up also on November 9th, we will have Aliana Apodaca. She's a great motivator speaker here in our area. She's here in El Paso, and she's going to be pretty much doing a webinar to empower women. you know, especially like again during the pandemic, and I'm working from home, and I have two kids, so it's okay to ask for help. You know, I think sometimes we as a woman, we want to take it all in, and we want to just, you know, manage everything at home, but it's okay to ask for help, you know, to your husband, to your kids, and you know, and get that help to be better. And we have to keep in mind that we have a strong mind, you know, our entire home is going to be better. And then we also, as I was mentioning to you before, on our marketing side, we have social media, we have giveaways. We have a giveaway right now going on, so I want to invite you to be part of it, and it's in partnership with the YMCA. They're giving us a 1-year membership to the YMCA for free for a family. And the only thing that you have to do is go into our Instagram or Facebook and mention, tag a family or friends, and let us know why are they resilient. You know, after August 3rd, after the pandemic, like how are these people resilient? And then you have an opportunity to get a 1-year membership with the YMCA, and it's a family membership, so it's for the entire family, which is great. We have promotional videos, like I said, testimonials, success stories. We have videos by our city reps. We have weekly workouts, and then also on once you take the pledge, you will be receiving some emails. We try not to do it, you know, like crazy, because we don't want you guys to unsubscribe. So we try to keep it, you know, every other week or even every other 3 weeks. And I wanted to share with you guys this amazing video by our rep. I hope it works this time, Lindsay, because I tried it before and it's just not being our friend.
Hopefully it'll work.
Right.
If not,
Yeah.
we can...
You guys trying to embarrass me? Come on.
Yeah.
It's muted.
Yeah, we can't hear it.
Unmute it. There you go.
No? Were you guys not able to hear?
Yeah, it should be on the video itself.
Yes, I did play, but you know what? It's technology is not giving us is not playing nice to us, and I'm sorry. I apologize about that. Let's see if I can put the caption. I apologize if you guys were not able to hear it, but I invite you to take a look in our website and social media. I'm sorry, I'm not a tech professional, but but I try to do my best. But I wanted to show you. Thank you, Rep. Dr. Morgan, for taking the pledge and making this video for us and encouraging your community to be part of this. So. And I won't even try to play the next one because it's probably, so that's, I want to thank you. This is a wrap, and I'm happy to answer any questions, any comments. And again, thank you, District 4, for having me here today.
Perfect. Does anybody have any questions for her? How to take the pledge? Anything like that? If you'll have to unmute yourself if you want to speak. If you're on the phone, it's *6 to unmute yourself. No questions?
Hi, Lindsay.
Yes, go ahead, Joey.
Can I have the web address again?
Yes, and I could put it on the chat, but the website, it's to take the pledge, www.leadactiveep.com. And I will put it on the chat as well.
Thank you, Diana.
And there's also a link in our newsletter. You can watch the video that she just showed, and their link to the website's also in there as well. So you guys can check out the website and take your pledge.
Right. And then to take advantage of that great giveaways that we're having right now going on, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and you can learn more of how be able to get those giveaways, and also to learn more about the webinars. We always welcome comments, so you guys are more than welcome to leave comments to us if you would like to learn about a potential subject. You know, like I said, we're working with the American Heart Association, the Diabetes Association. We have worked in the past with Hospitals of Providence, who were very, nice to bring doctors, experts to answer those questions. We talk about vaccination, the difference between the flu and COVID, when to be concerned. So we try to bring those resources to you guys, to our community for free. So we are always welcome feedback or suggestions if you guys can think of any topics that you guys would like for us to bring over to you.
Awesome. Sorry, I'm trying to listen to the press conference at the same time. Forgive me.
No problem.
Okay, perfect. So does anybody else have any other questions?
And that's when the economy started to open. And
No.
You guys are quiet tonight. What's going on? She did such a great job. They don't have to ask questions.
I know.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan. Well, thank you, and it's my pleasure to be working on this initiative, and thank you for all the support from you and your team to make this happen, and for encouraging the community to be part of it. Again, I keep saying this, and I want to add something else. You know, we have a lot of great organizations in El Paso that are grant funded, and they're struggling to make their numbers because they used to go to classes, they used to go to do outreach in person. So right now, fortunately, most of the organizations that we are working with, they're so excited to have a partner like us that it's supported by our city leaders and city reps. And they asking us, like, Diana, let's make more classes, let's do more outreach, because they're potentially losing some of the money that they receive because they're not able to make the target numbers that they have from previous years. So again, I encourage you to take the pledge, be part of these classes, are totally free. You guys don't need to turn on the camera, that's okay. And if you guys can share this with families, friends and families, we will highly appreciate this.
Not a problem. We can do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Cool. Well, if nobody else has questions for Diana, we'll let her go so she doesn't have to hang out. Unless you want to hang out, you're welcome to stay if you'd like.
Thank you.
Diana, I got a question for you. Are you voting yet?
Yes,
Okay, good.
and my husband too.
Outstanding. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
We'll talk to you later. Thank you, guys. Any questions, feel free to send them to Ms. Lindsay, and then she can refer them to us.
Absolutely. Yes, please do that.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, you guys are kind of quiet for 2 weeks in a row. What's going on? Huh? Everyone's just burnt out from elections. Hey guys, one more day of early voting, and next week it's over. Pow. So, I apologize that I'm not, my normal dapper self, but I walked in here from the polls. Okay, so I've been out there, and can I be honest with you guys? It sucks. Oh my God. Whoo. Okay, but very necessary to keep our community going in the right direction. Well, how many of y'all hung out with us on Tuesday night and watched city council meeting till 1 o'clock in the morning? None of you guys? Okay. It was. Lindsay did. I know she did. We finished up about a quarter till 12. A quarter to 1. Excuse me.
Yeah.
We had some items that we had. The emergency declarations had to be passed prior to midnight in order for them to go back into effect. There was a lot of bantering back and forth from city representatives. Usually they sit to my immediate right. Okay, you guys can figure that out, right? But they wanted to make some amendments to the order to basically shut down all the businesses, and that's what the judge is doing right now. I keep getting all these text messages that he just announced that it's absolutely necessary for non-essential, but that's what we were bantering about, and the amount of items that were posted on the agenda related to COVID. A lot of people believe that, the irony of this is everyone says they want less government, less government, less government. But then when we get into situations like this, it's almost as though people believe if you don't tell me exactly what to do, I'm not going to do it. I mean, common sense should prevail here. Okay. We're in a pandemic. Wear your face mask. It's the number one preventer of COVID. Wash your hands and limit your contact with other people. Okay. You all know David Thaxton, correct? He comes to the meeting, the gentleman who has the amputee legs, and he comes to our meetings. Well, he's in the hospital right now with COVID. Okay. So he was admitted last night, and I pray he makes it. So I would ask you all to pray for Mr. Thaxton. He's up there in age, and he's missing his legs because of diabetes, and I just pray that he makes it through. Okay, so keep him in your prayers. Also, I'm going to let you guys know. Last week, my cousin, or 2 weeks ago, she contracted COVID-19 in Mississippi. Her mother and her father, both in their early 70s, contracted it, passed it on to her. Her 50th birthday was July of this year, and she passed last week, and we buried her on Sunday from COVID-19, 50 years old. Okay. Mom and dad recovered. 50-year-old did not recover. She's gone. Okay. So, I implore everyone to please take this stuff seriously, because for me, it keeps getting closer and closer and closer to my home and my families. I'm out there every day, but I have that mask on. I should have invested in Purex hand sanitizer because I use so much of it. So I would just please ask you all to please take care of yourselves. Limit your outdoor activities and going to these big box stores, because the judge just shut everything down. I'll let Lindsay give us a complete update, but from my understanding is everything that's non-essential, and we already have a curfew that's in place. And this weekend, Tuesday night, we increased the fine. So since people don't seem to understand anything but money these days, the fine went from a $500 fine to a $1,000 fine, but we have the power to take it all the way up to a $2,000 fine. Okay, for violating the orders of the judge, the mayor, and the governor. Okay, Lindsay, you got something else on that?
Yes, I do. So I'm going to cover the parts that I caught, and then Angela's going to fill in the blanks if I miss anything.
Please.
So the county judge just announced that for the next 2 weeks, we will be under basically the same kind of lockdown we were in the beginning in March. So that means all non-essential businesses have to close, and he defines non-essential versus essential. So I'll go ahead and do that. Non-essential businesses that must close include tattoo parlors, hair salons, nail salons, gyms, massage parlors, and in-person dining. So you can't go eat at a restaurant anymore. You can't get your nails done, just like it was back in March. And this is in effect for 2 weeks. The things that are not affected by this that are considered to be essential are polling locations, so you can still go vote. Schools, if you're picking up, I know a lot of schools provide meals. So if you're going to pick up breakfast, lunch for your kid, that's still available, so an option. Childcare facilities are still open. Grocery stores are open, but you have to wear your face mask, which has been the thing since the very beginning. Funeral services will be allowed, but at limited capacity. Obviously, doctor's office and healthcare facilities are allowed. Pharmacies are obviously open. Government operations are allowed. The post office is still open, and retail to go services. So I don't know if y'all remember back in March, places like Marshalls and Ross were closed, but they were doing, you could order online and go pick it up. That's an option. So that's retail to go. And then all of the restaurants are closed, but you can still do order and pick up. So we're kind of just going back. It's nothing crazy. We're not in like if you leave your home, you're gonna be arrested. I was trying to say that gently. But it's gonna go back to how it was in March at the very beginning, is basically it. And then he's basically saying that stay home unless you have to go get groceries or medicine or a doctor's appointment, or if you have to go to work, or if you're going to vote. He even says that even if you're going to exercise your right to vote, you can leave your home to do so. If you have to leave your home to do something, practice social distance, wear your mask, and if you should be able to find hand sanitizer because I've seen it on the shelves everywhere restocked. So please, please, please go get that and use it when you're out, whether you believe in it or not. Just use it. It's better safe than sorry. Somebody in the chat just asked a question. I don't know, Angela, did he mention? They asked if blood donation and plasma is deemed essential. He didn't mention it?
No, right now he's just talking about like why he's doing it and why he's making the decision.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna say that they probably are still essential because we need to have people donating blood in case something happens and we need blood, but we'll find out and get that for you. That falls under the healthcare.
Yeah.
I would think so too.
But let me double check.
I don't know if I'd be taking any plasma or blood from anybody right now unless I absolutely needed it.
Well, if you have tested positive for COVID and you've recovered, please go donate plasma because they need that to be able to find a vaccine. So that's a good reason to donate plasma right now. But other than that, I don't know what would be. That's basically it. He was 20 minutes late to the press conference, so that's why it seems like he's been talking for a while. He actually hasn't. And he's just talking a lot about why we need to do this, which you all already know. Our numbers have skyrocketed. We're in a really scary state right now. So as much as nobody likes to do this or have to go through this, here we are. And if we just comply now and do it now and stay home, hopefully someday this will be over. I think we've seen that in other parts of the world where COVID basically doesn't even exist anymore in some places because they took extreme measures in the beginning and people stayed home. And I saw a thing where I don't know where it was, but they had a full-on soccer game and it was fine because the entire country had tested, there was no COVID there. So I'm hopeful someday the US will be that way, but for now, let's just all stay home and wear a mask. That's basically it. Angela, did I miss anything else he said?
No, right now Cesar Blanco is talking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know.
What about?
What is he?
He's stating that, sorry, I was trying to listen. I have it in my ear. He's stating right now that the cases are really high, that we're getting a 17 point something million worth of funding from the state.
Good.
But he's just talking about the records, that the funding is mainly due to the state helping out with all the testing sites and everything that's worth that much of money. It's not actual money we're actually receiving, but it's the steps testing. And there was 919 health workers who were provided to us because of the spikes.
Okay. And I would highly encourage anyone who needs or even thinks that they may have some symptoms to go get checked out. I mean, it's free. It's not going to cost you much. It's not going to cost you much but time. But if you know you're isolating, then by all means continue to isolate. Just so you all know, by December, the end of December 2020, we will have our own health clinic in the Northeast. It is going to be on Threadgill across the street from the 911 call center. And a lot of you all have been there for meetings and press conferences before. Okay. And you know, it was my vision that it stayed close to that, because here in the near future, we're literally, Northeast is going to be the home of all emergency services. The new police department that's right now in 5 Points. You guys, you all know where the police headquarters is in 5 Point. That's where the chief of police lays his hat. It's coming to the Coin Stadium site. Not on the 30 acres that we identified for development, but there's another 20 acres behind, closer towards Kenworthy. The new police headquarters, not another substation. The headquarters is moving there with all of their people and all of their staff. Across the street, we are going to put up the police training academy as well as the fire training academy. Okay, so this whole area is about to grow and bring in a lot of people into our area that are going to that either live in the Northeast or they're going to have to commute to the Northeast for their jobs. Okay, so that all of this is happening relatively fast. New health department, where we're going to do rapid COVID testing and storage of all our PPE, is going to be up and running no later than December 2020. That's really important for us, because right now everyone's going to Tobin Park and waiting in long lines. But now we're going to have an actual facility. It's the old Boeing building, in case you guys aren't tracking with that. And it's going to be it's being renovated and worked on right now. So in another month, the Northeast is going to be one of the first to have a clinic of this nature, and you can get your flu shots there. When the vaccine comes out, you're going to be able to get the vaccine there. You have health issues, you're going to be able to go there and get tested. Before, we used to have to go literally all the way downtown. It's now here in the Northeast. Okay, so we got a month for that to happen.
Yeah, that's really good news, and I think it's going to be a really good benefit for Northeast and for all of El Paso. We had another question about flight restrictions. He hasn't mentioned anything about that, probably because we can't really control what's outside of the county. But I will let you guys know that, so normally when the press conference is over, the county judge will release his entire order. Only like 15 pages long, and they're really obnoxious to read because it's a lot of legal language. But what we do every time we get that order is we put it out in our newsletter and on Facebook and everywhere, so you all can read that if you want the entire order, because it breaks everything down by, you know, religious services, restaurants, grocery stores, healthcare facilities, and it kind of gives a detail of what's allowable under each of those. So once we have that, but he hasn't released it yet. He normally does it right after the press conference. We'll send that out to you all. And you already got our newsletter for today, but we're going to send another one this evening that has just the order in it, so you all can have that and reference that. Let me see. There was something else I was going to say. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. This does go in effect today at tomorrow morning at midnight. So basically, it's basically now, even though it doesn't go in effect till midnight, because it's already pretty close to that time. Julie, you had a question.
Yes, I had a question. Sam, maybe you could pitch in here or whatnot, but we see all the cases that are coming forth with the coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of the all the testing that's being done.
Correct.
But getting to the lockdown in conjunction with that, Sam, do you remember I'm sure you do, being retired military, the war theory?
Oh, yes.
Okay. The war theory is that you know, whether to go to war or not to go to war. You're going to lose people anyway, but the thing is that you need to assess how many people you would lose versus going to war or not going to war.
That's right.
So what I'm saying is that we know that we're going to lose people to the COVID, even though we wish not, we try to mitigate and whatnot, but we for a fact going in. So what I'm saying is that with all the lockdowns and whatnot, what is the end game? Are you going to eradicate? Are you going to mitigate? You know what's you're going to lock down these places. You're going to hamper people from their livelihood. The economy is going to be affected. I know it's just for 2 weeks, but when people are dependent upon these monies to live, that's kind of put a dent in their budget.
Yeah. Well, I can expound on that a little bit. Well, obviously we all know that the COVID virus has an incubation period of 14 days, hence the 2 weeks. So everyone understands the correlation. Our numbers have been constantly going up. I mean, when we hit 1,100, everyone was like, "Whoa, what's happening?" A couple of days later, we hit 1,200. Everyone's like, "What's going on?" 13, 1,400. So what they're attempting to do, this is my understanding of it, is that 2 week incubation period. What we're trying to do is limit, because if you guys know that we have a dashboard and it tracks all the hot spots in the city. It tracks hot spots all over the place. If you guys haven't seen that, Lindsay will give you the link to it, but you guys should be looking at that. But what we've noticed is a lot of the clusters are happening on the east side, where are the most restaurants. If you guys ever taken a drive down I-10 and Zaragoza, there ain't nothing but restaurants and bars all over the place. So what they're doing is they believe that the most contamination is happening in these places because people are not exercising self-control. I listened to Dr. Ocaranza talk about this over and over and over. But people say, hey, all the bars were converted into restaurants. You guys know that. The governor gave, come on, guys. So they're selling nachos for $10, but they were selling happy hour for $1 drinks. Okay. So what this is going to do is we're not leaving it up to bar owners and business owners anymore. We're going to go back to where we were. Think about it. We went through this process in March when we only had 86 cases, 86. And we're hesitant to do it when we're having 14 and 1,500 a day per day cases, no hospital beds. William Beaumont, we asked them to use hospital beds. Guess what's happening at Fort Bliss? They have a huge breakout as well because their people are not isolated to Fort Bliss. And they said, no, you can't have our beds. So we have to erect this. So what we're trying to say is if you've already got it, in the next 2 weeks, you're either going to get over it or you're going to get sick. But we're not going to perpetuate allowing you to continue to go into the community and infect people, because a lot of people don't even know they're asymptomatic, or if they do have a cold or a runny nose or a fever, they think it's normal and they're still going out there. So since people aren't exercising self-control, government's stepping in. The county is stepping in.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and I will add to that if I could.
Yes.
You mentioned how bars were converting to restaurants. That was the reason that the mayor made all restaurants go to takeout at 9 p.m. because bars were, they started selling nachos like Rhett Morgan said, and then they were staying open until 3 a.m. And people weren't eating nachos. They were there because of other reasons, obviously, right? And so that's why the mayor last week in his order said that at 9 p.m. all restaurants across the board have to go to takeout only, because that shut down people going out basically. But in this case, this is the county doing things, because the hardest thing about this that you have to remember is there's things that the state can do, there's things that the county can do, and then there's things that the city can do. And they're all very different in terms of what they're allowed to do. And there's also a lot of different mindsets in terms of how some of the local politicians feel about following those. So the mayor is very strong about here's what we can and cannot do, and let's follow what the governor is allowing us to do so that we don't put the city in a bad space. The county, let's do whatever it takes to stop it regardless of what the governor says, which it's an approach, but I don't think it's at the end of the day, El Paso is going to be the one that loses out. So
Yep.
you just have to keep in mind that this is a very serious pandemic, but there's also, unfortunately, a lot of politics involved. And I think we've even seen that at the national level. So at the end of the day, I know a lot of people are saying the mayor's not doing what he should, but you have to remember what he's capable of doing in his power. Or a lot of people say the city council needs to do more. The city council doesn't make any of these decisions. So we're under an emergency ordinance, and that's the only thing the council has power over, is enacting that emergency. Once it's enacted, the mayor is the decision maker for the city, and then the county makes decisions above that. So I know it's very complicated, but I just want to make sure you all understand how political this is. And I might regret saying this, but that the blame is placed in the right place. Because a lot of times people come to city council and say, like, why are you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? You're not doing enough. You don't care. You just want to get reelected, blah, 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 blah. And that's not true. You have to understand the levels of government and how they work and what we're doing. Because also beyond the state is the federal government, and they're also putting restrictions on what some states can do. So you just have to keep that in mind, be conscious of it. Somebody asked in the chat, how is El Paso doing in terms of unemployment and subsidizing businesses during this pandemic? So I don't have the numbers on unemployment. We actually will get those tomorrow morning.
You get them tomorrow morning, but right now the unemployment rate is at about 7%. Okay. And economic development actually did a pretty good briefing on how businesses can gain access to the CARES dollars. So, Lindsay, if you could direct them to the economic development site, you can, if you're a business owner that is obviously about to be in, you can see about getting some of these grants. Remember, a grant doesn't have to be paid back, but obviously, as of today, as of what the county judge just did, there's going to be much more demand than there is resource. So if you're on this call and you're a small business owner and you got employees, you need to go to that website, economic development.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to mention. So actually today the city announced in preparation for what the county judge just announced, the city announced that they've just been given more funding. Previously, they had provided $1.2 million in loans and grants because there's different options under the CARES funding. But today we were actually given more money. So that is going to be available to any business in El Paso. There's loans and grants. Most of them are grants, but there are loans depending on what you're going to be using the money for. Anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000 is available per business. And so if you own a small business or you know somebody that does and they need funding, they can go to www.epbusinessstrong.org. And I'll put that in the chat so you guys can have it. And then, of course, always epstrong.org has all the information. You can find all the health orders. Anything you're looking for is probably on that website. It's a lot of information. Right. And because it's so much information, it's kind of hard to navigate, but it's probably the answer to your question is probably somewhere on that website.
And highly encourage everyone to go to it tonight because a lot of people are going to be rushing to it, and I don't even know if we can handle the capacity that we're about to see.
Yeah. Also, if you visit our Facebook page, we share a lot of information. Is it 3 S's? Yes. A lot of information from this website. So you can go to our Facebook and see all of that. I just shared the link. So if you want to apply for those loans, if you're a small business, you now have it. It's in the chat. Yes, I believe that's it. And like I said, he did mention the unemployment rate, but we get reports every Friday morning from the chamber. So we can put that out to you all tomorrow. Kim has a question.
Hey, everybody. I am negative.
Oh, good.
Congratulations. Look at that happy face.
Yeah. I wanted to let everybody know.
Get your results back.
I got the phone call on last Wednesday, and then I had to call an 800 number. So for anybody who's wondering, I had to go to the Tobin's Park. I was exposed at my gym class. that Wednesday and that Friday, I actually was talking to Sam, and I was sitting in line, and it took me 3 hours and 15 minutes to be seen. They send you an email that you sign up for through a QR code when you're in line. So everything is contactless. So if you have to go get tested, you're going to use your QR code app to pull up the information to fill it out. And then this lady, so I call, and this lady, I'm hoping she'll just say, "Hi, Miss Garner, verify all my diagnostic stuff. You're negative." Instead, she goes on, "Who's your family doctor? Have you had any symptoms? How long have you been exposed? How many days?" I'm starting to get worried now. She starts asking all these other questions, well, what zip code do you live in? And I'm like, holy moly. Oh, please, Lord, no. And then finally she says, "You're negative, Miss Garner." And I'm like,
Wow.
so,
Wow.
so that is the process from the state, from the lab that is based here, that is at Tobin's. That's how it works. So you will wait in your car. If there's a line, pack coffee, juice, water, snacks. When I was talking to Sam, I'm like, yeah, I'm just sitting here with the windows rolled down eating. They do have a porta potty, so if you have to go, but you have to stay in your lane, and then they code you by a color on your windshield. And because I had been exposed, I was an orange and others were a green. So then once they finally see me, they stopped, doing it at like 3:15. The cop blocked off the entrance to the back way of the park. So that is how it literally is, guys. You sit in your car with your mask. You wait inch by inch by inch to go around the park or wherever, Escarte or whatever. And take if the kids have to get it, take food, take anything to keep active, because you cannot get out of line and walk anywhere. You have to stay in your car. And then you just inch and inch and inch, and finally they're like, okay, you go this way. And then literally I drove through the tent. I raised my window literally like this high. She's like, "Tilt your head way up." And I swear she went to my brain. And then she's like, "Okay, you're good. Bye." So literally it took like 5 seconds to swab me, but my results so that was Friday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before I got notified. And I self-contained myself here at the house. I didn't go back to the gym. Nick went to Whole Foods and picked stuff up. I didn't go anywhere because I was trying to do the right thing.
Right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
And
we're happy that you came back negative.
But I wanted to speak about unemployment. I am one who's unemployed. And they just passed an email, and I have a feeling it may change for El Paso County, that you had to do searches again for each week that you claim unemployment. You have to provide in case they ask records of job searches. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting unemployment, though. It looks like I got extended because it shows that I'm going to get paid tomorrow. I don't know how much, but because I lost my job due to COVID. So for those who are filing unemployment, continue to call the number, the 800, or online to do your claim on the weeks you do your claim, and just continue, because that's what the little like synopsis said, was keep doing it, because we may be able to extend it if you have been affected. And so it showed that I'm getting paid tomorrow. But the job search, I have a feeling, Sam, that may be changed just for El Paso County and Hudspeth, right, and stuff, because, if we're doing job searches, because we're just such a hot...
to do job searches online, right?
Yeah, what you do is you write down, and I have a spreadsheet, Excel spreadsheet, or people can use just a steno pad, and you just write down the company you applied to, the position you applied to, and the date. And they're only asking, 3 a week. So total of 6 when you file. weeks. And you don't have to do that. You know, you don't have to give them anything. That's in case you're audited.
Got it. Well, thank you.
So I am a survivor, you guys. I've now been with COVID twice. I had to go to the doctor today. I felt like I have been through pandemic 101 at the Texas Tech off Kenworthy and UMC. They take a thermal image of your entire body before you even walk in. And then they ask you 3 questions, and then they give you a different color wristband before you can go anywhere. So it's real. I mean, it really opened my eyes this morning. And then, of course, I know, you know, a lot of us here in the Northeast have older neighbors and stuff like that. When you are going to the doctor or the grocery store or anything, they really don't say this. Come home and take those clothes off and put them immediately in the washer, not just your mask. You know, leave your shoes outside in the garage. Leave your shoes at the back door. Wipe off your handbag. Take off your sweater and your shirt and your jeans, because I was sitting on chairs. I'm sitting in a doctor's office. I had to go to the pharmacy. I could have bumped up against anything. So when you guys really think about it, you know, it's not just your hands. So I literally, you know, walked in and threw everything in the washer. And I talked to a very good health professional at my doctor's office, and he said that's what they're having to do for all of the health providers. And so, you know, they think that that's a great idea. And then your mask, your washable mask, you need to dry them on the highest heat.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. So I wanted to, because I know you talked about unemployment, but I want to go back really quick to let you guys know the lines for testing aren't as long anymore, because we've since opened up 4 more sites. So
yeah, I saw the one at the ES19 as I was passing by. Yeah,
Kenworthy.
Yeah, and I was like, gosh darn it, why didn't they have that 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
But I did vote, so I got my vote in, and you know, we're all in this together, and you guys know I'm, you know, very vocal about District 4 and everything like that. So, you know, pass it to your neighbors and everything, people, about the unemployment, and about, you know, Albertsons now is doing curbside pickup. You can order online. The Albertsons at Kenworthy, and
Walmart.
Well, yeah, but Albertsons just started it. So if you have your pharmacy has changed hours, everybody. Lindsay, you may want to send a note out regarding this. The pharmacy at the Save-On at Kenworthy and 54, they're short pharmacists because of COVID. So they're having to open at 9, Monday through Friday, and close at 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and they're going to be closed on the weekends now. So I had to hurry and get my medicine at 16:30 this afternoon.
Got it.
So yes,
So, and we have a lot of elderly, you know, who may go to the Save-On pharmacy to pick up their prescriptions.
Yes, absolutely. So as I was saying, there's a new site off of Kenworthy. It's the Region 19, but they're also opening a site for testing at Escarate. And that one's going to be a mega site, just like the one that's at the SAC. So there's lots of other options now. We have over 54 testing sites in the city limits. So please, please, please take advantage. Some of them do require appointments. There's one on George Perry, which is right next to the airport. That one requires an appointment, but you won't have to wait in line because you'll just go at your appointment time. But we are having an issue. People are calling and making appointments and then not showing up. So if you make an appointment, please show up or call and cancel it, because those are slots that other people could be using.
Exactly.
And if let's say your appointment's at 3, you don't show up, the person that's scheduled for 3:15, that's 15 minutes wasted. So it's making a backlog of testing. So if you make an appointment, please show up to it. And then if you test positive, please answer the phone when the contact tracer calls you. We're having a lot of people not answer the phone, and it's causing issues because we need to get this data from you so we can identify other people that may be, you know, affected as well. So please keep that in mind, and epstrong.org, like I've said, has all the information you need. It has testing locations, hours, health orders. I don't think, Angela, did he mention anything about Halloween in his press conference?
No, he didn't, but I guess it's the assumption that everybody should know. Since we're shut down, it's not going to happen because
Perfect.
it's non-essential.
Hey, let me let you guys know, because we gave very general, the new testing site that's on Kenworthy, it's at the corner of Kenworthy and Cohen. So it's right behind Cohen Stadium, just so you know, okay? Because
Yes.
Kenworthy gets kind of long, but Kenworthy, at the corner of Kenworthy and Cohen, can't miss it.
Yeah. It's the Region 19 building. It's the really colorful, weirdly painted building.
Purple and yellow. Purple
Yes.
and yellow. I don't know who
What?
thought of that.
Beautiful
That
color
makes me think of LSU, and I'm
That's
not an LSU.
That's my
fan.
college fraternity colors.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hey
Uh,
Sam, I have a question about the news this morning showing that ambulances were picking up people from the bridge on K-Fox. Did you see that?
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
All right. We have always been doing this. This is not something that's new. I guess because we're in the middle of COVID, people think that we just started doing this. It is no different than they're picking them up on the American side, no different than the young ladies who are pregnant and they hit that same spot so they can have their kid in America. It is the exact same location. We have always done this, but it's not something that the public has generally known about it. So for my biggest issue is if we are having a hard time with our own hospital beds, I got an issue with that, okay? Because we're having to take these extreme measures. But I just want everyone on this call to know that this is something that has been happening for the last 50 years in El Paso. It's just not cardinal knowledge. So it's no change to our routine.
And I want to add too that the people don't call 911. CBP is the one that's calling 911 to come get. So they're not like coming across the border and then being like, once I get there, I'll call. No, CBP is receiving these people and then saying, like, are you okay? And then they're making the call. So I think I'm sure the city will make a statement about that soon, but
I hope so.
There's just a lot of, I even saw one news report that was like, we're picking them up from Juarez, and that's not true. Our ambulances do not cross the border. So just keep that in mind. It was one of those stories that the news was like, we got them, but you just have to,
The bottom line is they're already on this side. They've already been detained by CBP. They're sick. We cannot deny them care. That's the whole reason people do that. Okay. So doctors take a Hippocratic oath, and it has nothing to do with your nationality or where you're from.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's also important to keep in mind that, these people could be U.S. citizens. It doesn't just because they're coming from Mexico doesn't mean that they're not U.S. citizens. Because essential workers are still crossing the border every day if they live there and work here or vice versa. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, I know that they did an interview with, now that I'm saying it, I can't remember his name. He's an assistant fire chief.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name.
I just listened to his interview today.
Yeah.
But
So
I can't remember.
But
Not relevant.
The fire department, it is affecting our hospitalization rate, but it's not affecting the fire department as much as you may think. They've been able to make up for it in other areas. So I just don't want anybody to think that if they call 911, they're not going to get an ambulance to their home for something because of this. That's not true. Like Rep. Morgan said, it's something that's happened forever. So
It's been longer than I've been in El Paso. It always happens.
yes. Okay, we're already past 6 o'clock. So unless anybody else has any other questions.
Hope you had a great birthday, Sam.
Yeah, I was on a city council call till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, but
So-
you got snow that morning.
And I was in the snow. I don't know if you see my videos, but a lot. Check out the website, Morgan for the CCC.
Well, I just wanted to let everybody know, how I've been taking this course for my HR certification, and you guys are like my family. Well, here's my almost there certificate of my coursework complete.
Congratulations.
So now I study for the national certification.
Well, congratulations, Kim. Proud of you.
Thank
Proud
you. So, and that's through Onward to Opportunity, which you guys can link. It's for all military veterans, those who are transitioning out, veterans who have been out, or military spouses. And it's a wonderful program. It's a grant through Syracuse University for many different Six Sigma, computer, like Cisco, and you name it, way up there, top secret stuff, and project management, and then of course HR. And so this $5,000 course is getting paid for free.
That's awesome. Hey,
So,
if this election don't work out for me next week, I might be taking those courses.
you should.
Natty's laughing at me.
Well, I mean, you should anyways.
We're gonna be good. We're gonna be good. Trust me.
Yeah. But anyways,
dental security, I would appreciate if you were successful in this election.
yeah. I did my civic duty, and I took a picture of that, thing that they made you put on your finger. And I guess we're the only county that has had that, because I got so many comments on my Facebook and Instagram page from all my friends back home in the Dallas Metroplex. They literally lost it. You should have just, anyways, it was safe. I felt very good. They did a great job, but good. I got a lot of funny comments from all my friends and family.
I can imagine. All right, guys. Lindsay, anything else?
No, that's it. Like I said, once we have the entire order, I'll go ahead and send that out to you all so you can read it if you wish. EPstrong.org has all the information you need. If you have any questions, you can always call our office or email us. Yeah, other than that, I think that's everything. And be safe out there. Wear your mask. Stay home unless you need groceries or medications. Yes.
And if you're sitting in the line at waiting to get a COVID test, you can give me a call. I'll hang out with you.
Yes, and please go vote. You only have till tomorrow for early voting, and then your last opportunity will be next Tuesday. So
drag them out.
I'm a paranoid person, so I can't wait till Tuesday because I feel like something would happen and I wouldn't be able to make it. So if you're paranoid like me, vote early, and so you can say you did it and it's done, and you don't have to worry about missing your last opportunity to vote next Tuesday. So with that, have a good night. Be safe, everyone, and we'll see y'all later.
Peace to the Northeast.
Bye.
Love you guys.